Well, Brad, given that performance, are you thinking about coaching standing up for the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, you know, the players are always the ones that are responsible for wins. Coaches are responsible for the losses. So players were fantastic tonight, and I thought that it was on the back of effort in the contest and defensive pressure, and you know, we got the opportunity to score.
Is that your most solid four-quarter performance of the season?
I think it'd be close. I think we were really focused at half time to make sure that we came out in the third quarter and really kept up the sort of effort that was keeping us in the game and keeping us ahead on the scoreboard. And I thought Geelong really came at us. I mean, everyone in footy knows how well they can move the ball, and you know, when they get a roll, they can be, you know, pretty hard to stop. And you know, while it was almost a 0-0 draw there in the third quarter, I thought that, you know, was as telling as our 7-goal-to-1 second quarter.
Skipper tends to get a bit of criticism for his leadership, but when the whips were cracking there, particularly like the second quarter, his work at clearances and stoppages was outstanding.
Yeah, they always have been. I think that, you know, on the consistency thing, I really think that the captain's copped a little bit of criticism along with other senior players, and you know, I can tell you I know them better than anyone. And you know, today we had a really strong focus that the guys in leadership positions did what they needed to do. And Andrew Swallow will always front up. And he'll front up whether we're 10 goals down, 10 goals up, and keep competing like his life depends on it. The issue that Andrew's had, if there is an issue, is that when we're in trouble, he tries too hard. And he goes away from what we need to do as a team because he wants to put the team on his shoulders. And you know, I thought tonight he just played within his role that we asked him to play, and that's leadership. You know, we've had too many players in the past, when we're under pressure, trying to do things out of the ordinary, and that's put us under real pressure.
Were you pleased with Brian Bastonak's efforts? He's obviously spent 3 weeks in the VFL and had to work pretty hard to get back in the side.
I was happiest with his 7 tackles. I thought his pressure was outstanding. We know his capabilities, his aerobic capacity, his decision-making, ball in hand. You know, it's been some of the things that we've wanted him to work on at VFL level that he really went back and while finding a hell of a lot of the ball at VFL level, that's, with all due respect, that's pretty easy for him. But the defensive work was outstanding in the VFL, and he brought that out tonight.
What was the theory behind Boomer in the best?
Well, Boomer, probably by his own admission, hasn't performed the role that we've asked him to play on a few occasions this year. And we had a pretty honest and frank conversation. I mean, we've got a great relationship and we talk all the time. And, you know, it was a pretty simple coach-player conversation that whilst being the sub wasn't a punishment, he needed to know that if he's not going to listen to my words, he might listen to my actions.
Did you sense he didn't enjoy it much sitting there? I mean, he's such an edgy type of guy. He'd want to be out there every minute of the game. Yeah,
look, I think that he obviously would want to be out there, and because he runs so hard from start to finish, he knows he's capable of doing that. But it is a role that we've spoken about over the last couple of years, and we think it can be a real weapon for us going forward. It probably just took the courage to actually pull the trigger and do it, because it's a big game for us against a really, you know, strong opposition club, and you know, he was outstanding from yesterday's meeting right through to the end of the game today in terms of the way he embraced that role.
Is it a given that he can go on next year if he wants to?
I wouldn't say it's a given, because it's not a given for anyone. It's not a given for anyone who's 30, let alone, you know, 37. So the evidence will be really clear to Boomer, and it'll be clear to the club whether the best decision for him is to go on. You know, as he said a number of times, right at the moment, physically he feels great, and if he can keep playing the way we want him to play, then there's no reason why he wouldn't go on. But you know, I'm all about evidence, and if he provides the evidence, then you know, he should go on.
Are you talking about that yet, Brett? Or is it too early?
We've talked all the time. Boom and I almost talk weekly about it, and you know, the answers have been the same for 5 or 6 years now. So there's been no change in the way he feels, and he doesn't miss a training session. He puts all our veterans to shame, and they get really frustrated with him because veterans are supposed to get a few sessions off, but if Boomer's out there training every session, they have to as well.
Can you keep him or keep any player as a sub for multiple weeks, or do you like to mix it up? Is it not something you could have Harvey playing that role several weeks in a row?
I think it's horses for courses a little bit. We left Trent Dumont out of the side mainly because he had played as a sub a number of weeks in a row. So there's a conditioning element to that as well. So I think it is, answer to your question, it is difficult to do it weeks on end.
You've already been asked about the Selwood incident, but your take on that sort of one-arm tackle?
Oh, we're all players are coached now to try and pin an arm because the umpires are so hot on illegal disposal. So that's almost second nature to players now. And Channel 7 showed me the footage, and live on air asked me. I couldn't say I hadn't seen it because the footage was right in front of me. And to me, Selwood couldn't see where the ball was. He pinned the arm, nothing more, nothing less. I spoke to Sam about it, and he said, yeah, no drama whatsoever.
Having said that, though, a couple of your guys ran in and remonstrated quite forcefully. Were they, within their rights to do that? Or?
Oh, look, I don't think so. I mean, we always look to support our teammates, whether it's a legal tackle where a player gets hammered. We try and assert our dominance in the contest and try and get things back on our terms. We don't want to be bullied. So all clubs would do that. But I don't think any player on our list or player on our club, would have an issue with that.
Given your season and a really great win tonight, how important are the next couple of weeks, Brad?
I think it's. I don't mean it to be flippant, but they're all important for us. I mean, next week's no more important than the week after that. We've put ourselves back on an even keel in terms of the win-loss, but we've done that a number of times this year. So the most important thing for us is to replicate tonight's effort.
Seriously, what was it like standing in the box? Was it weird or?
Yeah, it is weird. I was a bit nervous tonight. I'm always a little bit nervous before coaching, but the few weeks away is really. I was really jittery, so I was probably standing up more out of nervous tension than anything else. But felt all right during the game, but when I came in after a win, everyone slapping you on the back makes you feel terrible. So maybe a loss is better for the back, but a win is certainly better for the mentality.
When do you think you'll actually be able to sit down for a full game?
I'm back to normal, really. I mean, I'm just being ultra cautious. So, it's for all intents and purposes, I'm just back to the way I was.
And Robert Nahas, was that a hamstring issue that he was away for?
Yeah, he was. He just had a really minor. He's been carrying for a couple of weeks, and along with Hansen, who's been carrying something really minor. But Lockie just couldn't perform last week due to injury, and we're not going to carry any guys with even niggles.
You had a few players coming on and off. Were there any injuries for you guys off the game?
No, we were just wrapped to hit the interchange cap for the first time this year, so that was our ambition there. Everyone's fine, clean bill of health.
Thank you.
Thanks.